And again, I don't see you.
So you able to see me? That's
I don't see
crazy.
you. I hear you, but I don't see you.
That's crazy.
The officials are ready. The fighters are in the ring, and they are ready. So, for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first and world championship titles in a record 8 different weight division, guarantees his place in the Hall of Fame. He's recognized and known the world over as the people's champion.
My name is D-Nice. My name is D-Nice. My name is D-Nice. Taking out your suckers and yeah, and you don't stop.
Alrighty. Oh, what's going on, man? Let's see if we can get some something different going on. We should be up at the top.
No kidding. Something is not happening.
Yeah, right.
Mr. Audio Man, Mr. Video Man.
Oh,
Help us,
no. Oh, this is crazy. Our boxes are here. They're right here.
Well, okay. Maybe
That's,
even for me, there's no boxes. I'm literally staring at the mini box.
right. This is still fun, right? Still fun. You're up there. You're not up there the whole time. Oh man.
Who done did it?
Oh, it's gonna be a great.
Bring them to me.
I don't know. It's crazy because I can see you and hear you.
I know.
And you can't see or hear me.
I can see you. I can hear you, but I cannot see you at all.
That's wild.
Yeah. Maybe they don't want. They don't want show.
If you're in the audience, please let us know if you could see us. Be greatly appreciated.
Interesting. You know what's missing from this moment, right?
What was that?
Our brethren is not here to help.
No, he's no. He's got some work to do.
Let's see. Hold on for a second.
Oh, okay. Well, Nia says she don't see us, so that's. This is real live radio talk right here. This is what we do at our finest.
Really, yeah, exactly.
We give you previews that you've never even previewed before.
Exactly. Welcome to
welcome.
the good time.
Welcome. We're now Sit Bro Anonymous. It's a secret society.
It's societal, all right.
Secret society.
And a well-kept secret.
Yeah.
So secret we even keep it from ourselves.
Right. It's crazy.
How beneficial is separation? That's a darn good question.
Y'all sound separated? No, ma'am, we do not. We will not tolerate that here on Sit Bro. We are a man, and hear us roar.
Mm-hmm. Out loud with feeling.
Right.
Damn it.
It's a new day. It's a new era.
Mm-hmm.
So while we handle this, I don't understand.
This technical difficulty.
Like normally you just roll right up on there with this. It didn't have to do anything particularly special.
Don't get it.
To get up.
I'm shocked by this. Shocked, I say.
Interesting. Let's see something. Take down the layout. Add item. Camera slot. That seemed not to be the thing. It's interesting, nonetheless. I mean, there was nothing to really practice. Did you mute yourself, Dance? Hold on. Why are you muted? This is crazy. What's going on here? That was crazy. Now I can't hear you. I can't hear you. That's wild. Hmm.
The officials are ready. The fighters are in the ring, and they are ready. So, for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first and world championship titles in a record 8 different weight division, guarantees his place in the Hall of Fame. He's recognized and known the world over as the people's champion.
My name is D-Nice. My name is D-Nice. My name is D-Nice. Taking out your suckers and yeah, and you don't stop.
That's wild. You heard that, Niet? Still no sound. This is wild. Oh. You can hear me, or you can hear Dan's. You can't hear Dan's. Ah, okay. Asses. Did you get a phone call? You got a phone call? Okay. You can hear me. You can't hear him. Okay. Yeah, they hear me. They can't hear you. Oh boy. So what can I say? This is this is a great time, fun episode always. So talk about separating yourself and the benefits of separating yourself. It's not in the heinous way to be harmful or anything of that nature, but sometimes it's just good to separate yourself. Like I separated myself from TikTok to come be over here, T-Max Network on YouTube. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. The only way that you can really comment on any of the chat, you have to subscribe to be able to comment if you have anything to say. If anything, this is a sit, bro. And oh, there goes Dan. Let's see, we got him back.
I am back and better.
There we go. Back like you never left. So
no, I left.
Yeah, this is YouTube. I separated myself from TikTok to come over to YouTube, and I brought a good brother with me. So for those who are sponsors, content creators, new panelists, so forth and so on, got business ideas, aspirations, whatever the case may be, if you feel or believe it is beneficial or you could show us on all points, then go ahead and email us at tmaxnetworkllc@gmail.com. That is tmaxnetworkllc@gmail.com. Gmax. Such thing. Never. So, along with that, you can follow us on social media. It's T-Max Network on TikTok, T-Max Network on Twitter, T-Max_network. Let's get that straight. T-Max_network on search platforms, and you can find a way around us and get with that. But today I got my man Dan's, the living legend, the icon, the New Yorker himself, none other.
Thank you very much. Thank you to everyone who loves the New York. Thank you.
Speaking of separation, a lot of people in today's time tend to fall for whatever the trends are. If you say you should separate yourself and people will come back, no, you should never separate yourself. You gotta stick with people because they love you. Yada 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 yada. I'm like, okay, what does that have to do with anything when you actually need time to clear your mind and, you know, just separate from the crowd? You know, I don't understand this thing. I don't want to be that guy, but I'm going to have to be that guy. Is it me, or does it seem like people have an innate want of separation anxiety? Like they don't want to be apart from people for no reason when it's highly necessary for you to do so.
You always think that the crowd will save you. The crowd will help you. The crowd will fix you. The crowd will listen long enough and listen to you whine long enough, and then they will have an answer. Yep. No. Sometimes the best thing the crowd can do is let you be.
Right.
It takes one out of the crowd sometimes to tell you, stand back. Go sit down in the corner. What I say the other day, go let your business rest. Okay? Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's hard to do. It's hard to tell a person to go and separate yourself. Get your head together by yourself. See, even the most selfish of us have something within us that says, I got to help somebody. But you can't save everyone. Because you can't, the benefit of separation is you got to move away from the idea of trying to always grab the person from falling off the cliff. Some people have to fall off the cliff. You don't know what's at the bottom of the cliff.
Mm-hmm.
They're not falling to their doom. A lot of people falling off the cliff do not fall to their doom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can't relate. Never been fond of fitting in or being part of the crowd. Always had my own lane.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes it's not even about fitting into the crowd. You know
Right.
what I mean? That's the thing that people just want to not be a part from people at times,
Right.
or don't want people to want them to have their own space at time.
Right.
And it's like, what's the benefit? You can't present one, really. You just don't want to seem like you're being left alone or have to deal with something on your own, when in fact that's your whole life missions right there. You're going to deal with a lot on your own.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh yeah.
but you know, we've come to this place where it's not reminded to separate yourself. You know, I remember when I was playing sports, it was like I didn't want to do the thing everybody else is doing. I wanted to do that thing, and then I wanted to do my thing, which separated me and set me apart from everybody else. You know, hey,
Yes.
I had questions. You know, hey, coach, can I do this? Can I do that? Or what you think about this? What you think about that? You know, that separated me. That set me apart, because the ones that didn't have those questions or was trying to fit in didn't get the responses they wanted. You know, I was given leeway. I could say certain things at times, and sometimes, you know, get beside myself and call the coach by his first name. You know, I might have paid with some extra laps, but at the end, I'm sitting up there shaking hands and having laughs with the man that a lot of people couldn't do, because I was willing to set myself apart and separate from everyone else to find a different path.
Yeah. We call that the captaincy. And the captaincy, as a former alternate captain and a former captain in both hockey and baseball teams, I can tell you that the captaincy, okay, is its own being. It's its own thing. What we're talking about here is the difference between the reason why you decide that you even have the questions at all. What are the harms or what are the benefits? What are the detriments or what are the saving graces of having the questions at all? That's not about separation. That's about levels.
Right.
Developing yourself through levels. And there's no shame in that. There's no harm in that. So we're talking about this maybe on several different levels. So right now, I think the real question to ask you is, what level do you believe separation should be at?
All levels.
And what should it apply to in this particular situation when it comes to you specifically?
All levels at all things. Because sometimes as a coder, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know things, and you know these things, right? But sometimes, and this is just based on technology situations, and all coders can relate, You put in all the code, and now we have this thing called Prettyfy and whatever. So it's color coded. So your code looks really attractive. You're real motivated to really just get everything nice and constructed, right? To see your work in color. And you don't get it to go through. And you go through everything time and time, and then you realize 4 hours and passed, still ain't worked. You done checked and rechecked and quadruple check, quintuple check. What it was that moment you say, you know what? Let me separate from this damn computer right now if I do something that I really regret.
Sure.
And you come back. You had time to clear your mind and really even think. And all of a sudden, it could be the damnedest conversations of all. And it might be somebody be having a clear discussion about punctuation of a sentence. And you say, that's it. And you go back and you say, a semicolon on line 1 was missing. Enter that bad boy, and everything works. Now, if I wasn't willing to separate from that thing at that time, I still would have been in that very same spot.
Sure.
And see, we don't talk about the levels of separation that could bring you growth.
Right.
Because everything about the word separate is normally used in a negative disposition. Nobody wants to talk about the positives, plus sizes of separation. Do you know when you go off to college, you have separated from the peers you have been around for a majority of your life?
One would think.
When you go get a job, you're pretty much doing the same kind of thing.
One would think.
When you get your own family, you're separating from a lot of things. So separation is very much a part of life. But for some reason, again, when you talk about the very decision to do so, and you say, you know what, I think I'm gonna step away from this, I'm gonna step away from that. A lot of people are like, no, you should keep doing this, you should keep doing that. Well, then you get to a point, what's it to you if I do or if I don't?
You're having the Allen Iverson conversation. Oh, you are. You're having the Allen Iverson conversation. The moment when you don't understand, when you do need to leave the crowd behind and do what you need to do for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I become fearful of these conversations because the response to them typically is, we need to carry those. We need to carry the community with us that took us to where we are. Oh, yeah? I got news for you. When I'm taking my girlfriend in the bedroom, okay, and starting to work on making her a mother, I ain't taking you in the bedroom with me. You can forget it. When I go to work and I'm sitting down at my computer or sitting down or standing up in front of my chopping block, okay, or whatever I'm doing, unless you and I work in the same job, you and I ain't going to work together.
Absolutely.
When I get my butt up and I decide that I need to go to the bathroom, I ain't taking you with me to hold it or to sit it down or to wipe it or to clean it.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to have some time when I got to be able to let you go. We can hang out.
That too.
Yeah, I know.
I was wondering that.
There's got to be, I don't know what's going on. There's got to be a point where it's got to make some sense. You know?
Mm.
There's got to be a point where it's got to make some sense. And we can't all jump off the bridge together. Or we're going to all end up dead. Or we're going to all end up hurt.
It's just this little troublemaker. Listen.
Really? It's Sunday.
You know
It's Sunday. It's 8 o'clock. Can you not and say you did? Can you not and say you did? Yes, dear.
This one.
Mm-hmm.
This one has
Yes.
been MIA for a few weeks.
I'll bet.
What has it been about a month?
About that.
A little over a month.
About that.
And they come in here and giving you all this flack. Somebody's re-energized. I tell you that much. No, but I to the point of it's like, okay, there was a point in life where people used to encourage people to separate from things when it seems as if it was bogging them down or had them in a place of confusion or just needed to find a different angle on what you're dealing with. When you separate from something, that doesn't mean you necessarily have stopped dealing with the thing that you're dealing with. You just take your time. But then in some cases, hell, you need to separate to stop dealing with the thing that you're dealing with. Because it's going to be beneficial to your life and to others in some cases. A lot of people could still very well be better off, still could be here, had they separated themselves in certain situation. Boss sister says separation and reconstruction matters. Are you damn right?
Oh yeah, that I agree with.
You might need to get Mandy on that. That's a campaign slogan right there. Go ahead, trademark that right now. Hurry up.
Work on it. Make it happen.
That's where the problem lies, and is like, we go into this anecdotal type of discussion, oh, men are not being raised without fathers and yada yada yada. Well, that's more the reason why a lot of guys should separate from the pack so they can discover themselves fully.
You say that. The lady and I, we have had this discussion before. She grew up with her father. I did.
Mm-hmm.
And her father was not the nicest man.
Mm.
He was a very, he had a drunk's personality. Okay? Sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down, sometimes it's off, sometimes it's on.
Mm-hmm.
He died in 2014. It's been nearly 10 years he's been gone. Mine died 2 years ago. I wouldn't know what his personality was, except I have to pay attention to things that I do. That's the only tell I get. But one thing is for sure. I always say to her this. You had one. And even if he wasn't the best person, you had one. But you know what? She flips that back on me. And she says, well, if you think I had one, you've met the man yourself. You met him 3 times. And the 3 times that you met him before he died, okay, what did you think of him? I said, I didn't think much of him.
And that's not necessarily saying anything good or bad. Just
or bad.
All right, I don't have enough intel.
No intel, not enough intel. She said to me, if you took it from me and my sister, okay, we might as well have not had.
Mr. TKO.
Salute
to the panel. The hardest working man in the business. The dark-skinned Byron Allen.
Mm-hmm.
The hustle man. Mr. Divinity himself.
The king of swing.
Right. I mean, I just, for the life of me, man, I really want the narrative of separation to be a set standard, because when you take time to study, you're separating, right? And it's, going on and being in a lot of panels, it's easy and yet very difficult, because you have to be mindful that a lot of people know what you know, and a lot of people don't know what you know. A lot of people come in a place of love. A lot of people do not. A lot of people come from a place from giving. A lot of people do not. You have to find that balance between a lot of people. And then it's crazy that so many people come from so many various walks of life, but still want to hold the same path. It is like, separate yourself, because your name's Ike, and you want the life of Linda. And I'm not talking about, sexual preferences.
I got you.
We're talking life, like the results that she has gotten, that she worked for. And when she says, hey, I'm going to go to work and I'm going to put in 12 hours a day, and he goes, no, you're working too hard. You should come and hang out with me. Like, what?
Mm-mm. That don't work.
It don't.
That don't work. That don't work. Ask anybody. That don't work.
It doesn't.
That don't work.
That's where a lot of people want to be at. I look at it like, are people not willing to separate out of the fear of not being accepted?
What they are is unwilling to separate out of the need to keep noise in the room. Okay? A lot of people are not willing to be alone because they need background noise. Okay? No one ever thinks about it in terms of, TV, radio, things like that. You think about it in terms of, I need something to keep me going. I need something to keep me busy. So I need someone to keep me busy. People are not, at times, people are not self-reliant. And they do not recognize that it starts from within. To many people, and I know people personally who are like this, they have to have an agenda from the minute they wake up in the morning to the minute they go to bed at night. They got to be involved in something. I mean, you talk about FOMO, you talk about fear of missing out.
Yeah, listen, that FOMO thing
is a killer.
I have a FOMO on things that directly affect me, because even then I understand I can't be in every place all the time at once, right? Yes. But if I'm worried about a party in California and my ass is over there on the Brooklyn Bridge taking the tour, well, I can't worry about the party in California. I'm automatically missing out because they're not next door. A Learjet won't get me there fast enough. So I'm going to have to settle in with, I'm going to miss out. There's been birthday parties and stuff, but I want to get to this real quick. Niet has said two great comments. One is, separation is always easy, but know in your heart when it's necessary. Isn't always easy, but I get it. That for people, it may not be. Separation was always easy for me because I like being alone. It was something about the silence that just came with so much clarity. There's times I would get in the car. I don't want to hear the radio. I don't want to. The hell, if I could turn down the sounds on people's tires as they drove by, I would. But I don't want. There's been time I would have a long drive family be asleep, I'll turn off everything. My wife, why did it?
Really?
You just drove 3 hours in pure silence? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Because
Relate.
I needed to separate from the daily congestion that's just pouring in. Needed to clear away from that.
Yep.
You know, I don't want to, I have audiobooks, you know, that I would listen to from time to time, but sometimes I don't want to hear them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it just comes to a point where separation is such a key thing for me that I'm not willing to dismiss the power of it, because there comes a point of there's somebody always watching.
Sure.
And they are, if you are a person that is in the crowd just to be in the crowd, you will be sought out. If you are a person that is in the crowd and can't live without the crowd, you will be sought out.
Mm-hmm.
If you are a person that says, listen, I come around the crowd, that's cool, but I can very much hold my own, it's better.
Yep. You know,
You don't want
every
to be
Friday.
alone because they really don't like themselves.
Well, you know what? Can I take that one? Because seriously, that's something that I use a tactic on. Every Friday, I don't work on Fridays.
Me either.
I don't work on Fridays. I haven't worked on a Friday in 10 years. But since I started doing this, since I started, working on my own, I do not take any jobs on Fridays. And what I do is from the moment I get up, I fast and I meditate.
Mm-hmm.
What I recognize is by the time my fast is over, I usually start from sunrise to about, say, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And honestly, I do it for my mental health. And the thing I don't like about myself is that there's times when I'll get to the point where I'll start jumbling my words. And I recognize that I have exhausted myself. I've exhausted my mind. And the best thing I can do in that moment is to take some time for me and recoup and recoil. A lot of these moments when you see me come here and we talk and we have these conversations with people, that's from re-energizing, from that reboot. And sometimes you need that. Sometimes you need to separate yourself from everything. Quiet all the noise. Don't talk to me. I don't answer my phone. I don't nothing. Sometimes you called me a couple times on Friday. I let it ring. I'm like, sorry, bro. You don't understand. I'll explain to you one day, but this is the reason why. And sometimes I got to just, nope, can't do it. Can't break away. Right now, I'm still in clarity mode. I'm still getting rid of the crap.
Right.
By the time, the midday comes, I'm a little bit better. I'm going to go have that one cup of coffee in the middle of the afternoon and be like, okay, I'm getting closer. But I tell you what, by 3 o'clock, my words sound clearer. My mind is more focused. I'm sharper. All right. And I can handle what's coming. The weekend will come to me, whatever's coming to me.
Right.
I'm good to go. Next weekend, I can tell you, I will be, caring for my mother. I'll be her caretaker for the whole weekend next weekend. If I don't take that meditation for myself on Friday, I'm not going to be no good to her.
No, it's crazy.
What's that?
Is the fact that people have questions, right?
Yeah.
And, people do help people. And I perceive it as if people are looking for or anticipating the great hero to come be the one that does that.
Right.
Not always necessarily something really like extravagant. Sometimes it's just really something simple, like having an answer for a question. You know what I mean? Or connecting them to somebody. when it's times you just need to go and have that separation and kind of step back and look at the situation, or just listen, or just not be a part. Just remove yourself from a situation and see what happens. Like, hey man, where you been? Here's this working on myself. Okay. What about working on yourself? Having some direct answers to that, because sometimes people say stuff because it's trendy.
True.
Wow, working on myself. That's what about the self work are you doing? Not to pry on your business, but just out of curiosity. What do you think you need self work on? Oh, no, just working on myself. Okay.
No, I can answer that question.
I know
More often than not. More often than not, it's the motivation to get back up. Get my ass kicked the whole week. Sometimes it's just about, the recharge of mental health.
Right.
Sometimes it's being able to stop the overthinking. Because contrary to popular belief, yes, we men too do overthink. Sometimes we're in genius mode, and we are just stuck on a topic and just grinding it in our minds. And by Thursday evening, you're pretty much like, "What are you, stupid? Why are you sitting here concentrating on this bullshit all week?" Time to get some sleep. When I wake up Friday morning, my answer is, I'm not thinking about nothing. I'll call you back when I'm ready.
Right.
And by Friday afternoon, I've already said, okay, here's the answer to the question. D, you're a nice guy and I love you, but sometimes you just need to just stop and sit, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And then 3:01:59, I've gotten up off my behind and, gone in the kitchen and started preparing dinner. But I have a clearer mind to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I can recharge myself for the next 6 days to come.
Right.
And by the time we sit down and sit, bro, I'm of a clearer mind.
Right.
I think about the fact that yesterday was my cousin's birthday. My cousin Herbie's birthday yesterday. My cousin Herbie is 54 years old.
Young whippersnapper.
Young whippersnapper. Much crazier than his 54. He acts like he's still 24. Okay? In his 54. And I laugh because, like we were talking yesterday, and I was thinking to myself, good Lord. In not too many years, I'll be his age. In 5 years and a month, I will be his age. And that made me laugh. That made me really sit back and just laugh. Like, I'm separating now from my 40s.
Mm-hmm.
In 3 weeks, I will be 49. And so I'm separating, and here's the benefit of separating now from my 40s and having separated far enough from my 30s and separated way far enough from my 20s.
Mm.
I've seen enough to understand that as I separate from these things, separate from these ages, separate from these dispositions,
Right.
I have a much better perspective on what the future holds.
Mm-hmm.
I can see you, and I can see us, and I can see everyone 10 years from now. Hell, the earth might be a little hotter. Who knows what'll become of this country? But what I can see is I can see that in 10 years we'll be 10 years smarter than we are even now.
Mm-hmm.
Because 10 years ago, being right now, we sat down and we had a series of these conversations. And this began to make more sense every week. Every week we were able to sit, bro.
Right.
We were able to sit T-Max, and enjoy one another and become not so separate in the midst of separating ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We became not so separate. So really the benefit of separating yourself is to become not so separate
Mm-hmm.
from yourself and from the world around you.
Right. It's a you know, it's a damn good recharge. You know what I mean? Damn good recharge. I think you don't have enough people practicing it to see that it is a bona fide recharge. And so you have more people not practicing it. And because it's like, oh, well, you have people with mental health issues. This is true. And sometimes those with mental health issues need to be the ones to separate as well, because that way they can get away from all the congestion and work through the layers that have built up over the time throughout the week. Do people understand truly how much shit you go through in 168 hours?
More than you will ever account for.
People don't understand 160 hours is 1 week. You have people literally working 84 of those. That's on the job, giving up a lot of themselves to provide, right? But that still doesn't negate the drive over.
Right.
The time they had to like rush and scarf their food down, try to figure out how they was going to spend time with family, so forth and so on. If they have those situations, right? Because we can't sit here and say everybody is in the same category. But for those that are, you have to pull away. And because people who do have mental health issues, we can't always be the fear monger. Oh, they're going to harm themselves. They're going to harm themselves. A lot of times I think about it like this. Because there was a lack of separation, that brought on a great deal of the mental issues.
Right. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Even Mika agrees, as you can see. Absolutely right.
I was like, you know, we the narrative of I want to be the one to save or fix or do any of these things. Whatever happened to the simple man, take your time.
Not in this world. Not in this world. The things we're sitting right in front of right now. The devices we are in front of right now. Change that. A world that is way too instantaneous. It has gotten to the point where you can't rest for a thing. Because everybody can access you. Everybody can engage you. And they don't have to go through hoops to do so, like they once did 20 years ago, like they once did 30 years ago. 30 years ago, there wasn't such a thing as the iPhone. Okay, 20 years ago, this technology was still in infancy, and you were not so instantaneous. Not everything was so accessible.
Right.
And what's the big thing that has changed? Is the need to tell you things like that.
Right.
Slow down. That was a great song.
That is absolutely true. Because if you take yourself on Facebook and you could probably pick any time in the last let's go 10 years. Even though we know it's more than that. People started announcing family members or friends that pass away. It was like, oh, I was the first one to post it. Like, really? What joy do you get out of that? Because one day, you know, it's gonna have to realize or register, like, hey, make sure that man's family or woman's family or kid's family is fine with that information being out. Because it might be something going on that you don't know.
I agree.
And I am notorious for, hey, is this like, and I don't know, confirming just to be confirming so I can post. Like, no, I want to make sure, like, hey, is this what I'm hearing true or seeing true? Because I'm really not one to post on something unless I know firsthand I had that type of relationship with that person and their family.
I agree.
And the ability to separate myself is what gave me that skill set. That gave me that understanding, because I was willing to part from, social media trends. I didn't want to fit into that situation. People wonder why, oh, my relationship. Well, you put everything out there and you want to be like the next person. You ever thought about separating your situation from the next one?
Relationships online are the worst thing ever. Because, first of all, you don't know who is paying attention to you're having a relationship at all. You don't know who's paying attention to you.
Right.
You don't know beyond the people that maybe you may have on a list. Okay? You don't know who's paying attention to you. And you don't know what intentions other people have. And therefore, you don't put your business out there. You don't put out there for everybody that, I'm in a relationship or I'm married and I've got this number of kids and what have you. Because in truth, you need to protect them. And but even besides right. But even besides that, you also need to stop trying to use that as validation for your living. Okay? You need to allow yourself, your own moments online to be your validation, your reason for why you're even there. Okay? You might be happy. Yes, I'm happy, I have Mika. But, there's a point where I put things on, let you see a splash here and there. But if I need to make a whole account and it's named Mika the Kitty, and it's, every single damn thing that Mika's doing, I think you can safely say something is wrong with me at that point. Because at that point, I'm reaching, grasping for attention. And the level of lack of separation for myself, reeks of desperation. So, you gotta know where's the line. You gotta know where that line is, and you gotta jump to it, and then use it as a separating line to go through everything else in life.
Yeah, that's well said. Because we just really wanted to get to a point that separation is a bonus in life, particularly given when you can give yourself the space to do so, and you have free will. Enjoy it, because in some cases and forms of life, some people don't have that. They just don't. You know, I had to separate for this thing just to check my heart rate. You know, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. It's beautiful. 118/60. It's a beautiful thing. Goddamn, I
Well
tell
done.
you.
Well
You
done.
know.
Keep that up. Keep that up. Trust me.
I too fast. I too make it a point to have that time to deal, you know, because I am human. To deal with kids, because I once was a kid. I understood, like, you know, the things that they go through. Like the numbers add up. Hey man, I got 40 hours in this bitch and I ain't made a dime. What's all this learning shit about? you telling me they in a situation where I can't learn and earn? And it comes to a point. They're absolutely correct. So I have to be there for them at times. So where I can't be just all about myself.
Right.
I have to separate from certain situations and things in order to do that, to be adequate enough, you know. But we're coming up on our last few minutes, man. And brother, I just want to say to you, I appreciate you a whole great deal, man. You have been a bonus to my life, brother. A clear bonus, man. Rather it was a laugh, rather it was a sensible ear, rather if it was just the companionship, the brotherhood, the camaraderie, brother. I tell you 100% grateful for that raggedy ass app called TikTok. Because that's the only good thing. Listen, it's the only good thing it did. It got me in contact with some really great, beautiful spirits, man, and I'm thankful for it. But I'm not thankful for how they did me. So don't ever think I'm gonna let y'all lay easy with that. Fuck y'all. But anyway,
I'm not gonna argue with any of that, and I thank you for that. And you are very welcome, because believe me, that door swings both ways. It really does. I'm very grateful that I have come across you, because from the day that we were joking about, you know, about the cigar stuff, it was like, okay, this I think I found my new best friend.
Yep. Yep. I mean, honestly, bro, I sit back and I go back and I look, and even though our numbers aren't like the cream of the crop type numbers, I go back and I'm grateful for like the pavement. You know what I mean? From the very first one and going through, it's like, wow, the pavement. It's a strong set foundation, man. There's a lot of building that's gonna go upward. And so I appreciate.
I have faith. I have faith in this faith, my friend. I do. I really do. Honestly, there's a joy. There's a joy when I get to, you know, when I get to sneak it on. You know, sometimes I might be in the middle of working, and sometimes I might just grab the phone and prop it up over in a corner and be like, oh, okay, what's going on here? Blah, blah, blah. I see you tinkering around with something, you know. I see other people, you know. Every once in a while, I peek and I see Marcus still is dropping in his little posts here and there. I see, you know, this person and that person. I drop mine every other day. You know, I don't put my head in as often. I try to just post things, you know, silly things to make people laugh, or things, you know, political. But yes, I put up my stuff because my point is, look, in this world, we gotta laugh at ourselves, but we seriously gotta look at some of these issues and be real about them. You know, somebody had the nerve. I'll tell you a quick story, real quick. Somebody had the nerve to post
the officials are ready.
Somebody had the nerve to post up this little BS little thing where they following something that I commented. I commented on the Democratic Congressman Adam Schiff after he was censored, you know, a month ago. this crazy ass chick had the nerve to show up talking about, oh, this is the same guy who was a pedophile from, and he don't care about he don't care about kids and things like that, and he had the nerve to to pay off a black family to I was like, I already know you're lying. Just take that fake account, get off my thing, and don't get yourself blocked. Don't copy me anymore. She keep coming back, and then reports me. Now you talk about TikTok, okay? TikTok then sends me, oh, we're getting rid of the video that you sent to her because because of harassment and bullying and sexual exploitation. Excuse me? Yeah, we've been here before. So I kindly appealed that and won my appeal, right? Mm-hmm. I turned around, I sent the message. I said the only thing I would sexually exploit, okay, is the idea that I might laugh in your face when you try to pull some crap on me like that. But staring into my mouth is nothing sexual. So thanks for playing. Right. She's like, I'm like, you know what? Welcome. I said, welcome to America 2023. Just one more thing we got to.
It's funny on what is found as bullying, harassing, or whatever. You could be having the direct discussion with someone that you're involved with a situation, and somebody has a complete right to go scream harassment,
and they can't even prove it. They can't even prove it.
The thing about it is they're going to get supported.
Oh yeah,
that's the crazy thing.
Oh yeah.
It's been a wonderful evening, man. I appreciate you once again.
Of course, I always appreciate you.
Subscribe to the channel right here, TMAX_network. You can also find us on Twitter at the same thing, TMAX_network. You can also find us on that raggedy ass app called TikTok. It's TMAX_.
Play this off, T-Max. Play this off, T-Max.
So if you want to be a sponsor, if you want to be a content creator, if you want to be a panelist, you just have a suggestion on the topic you would like to see us have on any of the shows, that has to be pertaining to what's going on with the shows. I would really like for people to stay plugged in with us, because Boss Talk happens on Sundays at 5:45 Eastern Standard, and then the Missing Conversation Sit Bro happens with me on Sundays at 7:45. And the People's Campaign with the dynamic duo with Denise Nicole and Hot Boy Zeke at 10 p.m. Tuesdays Eastern Standard Time. And here we come again right here with the Winner Circle at 10 p.m. Eastern Standards, which I believe date is grilling around to August 3rd. So you can catch all that we got coming up here on the TMAX network, man. My last words would be, see something different, do something different, then you could be or become something different. When you look at the Malcolms, Martins, LeBrons, Muhammad's, Jim Browns, so forth and so on. Yeah, they did a lot of things with people and made a lot of things happen. But there was a point of where they were by themselves. That work was the leg work that nobody could take away from them. It was the work you did away. And I'm just pointing out some of the mere benefits of separating yourself on this, because we don't talk about the power of separation. Not to make slight of anybody that's dealing with certain terminal situations, but what do they do when somebody has a cancer? They separate the cancer from the rest of the body. Cancers are toxic cells. They're zombie cells that they multiply, but you catch them, you remove them away from all the working and living and great cells. So think about that in a sense of a case. Like, and when I separate myself, I'm not separating and detaching from things that have nothing to benefit, nothing to offer me, nothing that is going to propel me to where I truly want to be. And I understand it's okay to be separate and separated from other people, places, and things. You know, it's just been a wonderful evening. Today's date is July 23rd, 2023. A day you never been in before, and a day you never see again. So while you can, given that the fact you're on the East Coast, you got about 3.5, 4 hours to really grab your day and bring it home to you. That don't mean go out and try to make the world yours. No, separate yourself. If you're in Central Standard Time like myself, you got about 4 hours just to grab the day, make it plain to you. Hey, Mountain, y'all know y'all don't change y'all clocks no more. But hey, you got the rest of the day to change the day for you. And Pacific Standard Time, same goes for y'all, man. Y'all do change y'all time. But you got the rest of the day to change that thing, separate it, and bring it home for you. It can do you a whole lot more. Don't see separation as a negative connotation. See it as a benefit and as a plus to your life. With that being said, we're out.
The officials are ready. The fighters are in the ring, and they are ready. So for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first and world championship titles in a record 8 different weight division, guarantees his place in the Hall of Fame. He's recognized and known the world over as the people's champion.
My name is D-Nice.